Right, let's see here. No, I don't want to read anymore. Right, let's see if we cannot get this to work as well as last time. Well, not exactly as well as last time, because last time it crashed. World Wars is the first one to comment. Right, last time it crashed because, well, I was fearful that the battery would run out, so I was charging it at the same time, and as I was charging it, it kind of overheated. Right, Devin Jakovsky, Cullman Creations, Jordan Lewis. Let's go ahead and see if I cannot watch the live stream myself, and in that way see your comments. Last time, yes, we were kind of well, partly I think it's good to do a second one because there was probably people who missed the first one, and we didn't get through everything, did we? But we got through most of it. So one of the things from last time was the musket, because I didn't really know what it was, you know, what year it was made or anything, but I think we figured out through some Google searches after the comments that was left by some of you guys, that we figured out that it's a converted M1815 that was then converted from a flintlock to a percussion cap. Yeah, exactly. So it was converted, and it was converted around. The thing is, I was looking at a picture online from a museum somewhere. I can't remember exactly where in Sweden the museum was, but it had basically an exact picture of this sort of setup that was right here with this lock, which you can kind of lock it if you just pull it back just a little bit. You can hatch it on there, so it's not actually resting on the nipple, as it's called. I think there's probably another word, but the thing that it rests on, just so it doesn't lie exactly on there. So yeah, it was really this part here that kind of gave it away when I looked. Well, the entire thing here, because when you look at it, there's a few things missing. So it should really have the same kind of brass detailings here. So it should have a brass band going across here, and then one over here, and then one over here, and also it should have, so you could attach a bayonet, which you can't actually see. I don't know why you thought I'd know any Russian, because I'm not speaking Russian. So I don't know why you thought I would be able to understand your comment. Right, so there's that. We solved the mystery, kinda. So there we have that. And then just place that there. Maybe not. It's smooth bore, because this was made 1815, and it would have been made for just kind of, maybe, I don't know, you probably can't see, regular infantry at the time. So it wouldn't have been. I have. So let's call you Mark. Let's see, well, let's start with the first comment there of Mark Zero about a Napoleonic Wars uniform. And yes, I have thought about that. But the thing is, I really kind of want to complete some of the other ones that I have. Or get like, so I don't drop and jump on the next, because that's kind of why I have as many as I have. Yes, just going back on the rifle over Sama there. Yeah, it's probably used as a civilian hunting rifle or something like that. And that's why maybe I don't know what they... Yeah, so but I have been thinking about it. Getting Napoleonic gear, getting a Napoleonic uniform of some sort, and then going on to the other guy. The thing is, at the moment, I don't have a lot of like I think the height of last live stream we had at the top. I think we had 30 people or something watching, and there weren't a lot. I mean, there wasn't any need for moderation as such. So, I think I have set one person as moderator, but right now it's not really needed. But in the future, maybe. And so people talking here about continuing on about Napoleonic gear. Yes, I had the thing that I has been looking at is French Napoleonic uniform of some kind. Mostly because, you know what, I think I have it here. So you have to have followed my channel for quite a while to kind of recognize this thing. Well, not that you've seen just this thing. Let's see. Da-da-da. This one, which I got because of you've seen it during but it actually is because of the fact that it is specifically, now it's actually turned the wrong way around, but it is the 54th, which was the Mountain Blade clan that I was in. So that's why. Yeah, it's probably a little bit harder. I'm pretty sure the guy that made my Swedish uniform could probably make Swedish Napoleonics as well. Hello there, Lee Dong Kyu Lee. And hello there from USA. So it's a little bit later. I started this a little bit later because of stuff. Yeah, so let's continue on then, talking a bit about Napoleonic gear. The two that we didn't really look at is my Carolean and my Confederate. I actually have got two hats because the thing is, I like the size of this one, but this one has the nice white thing, and the thing is, this one is is smaller, and it's a little bit smaller, or it's really that I have a really big head as well. So I have these two. And for the Carolean, I've actually made some of the stuff myself. I also think this one's probably a little bit wonky. Slightly. Would be cool to see a uniform from each country that was fighting in the Napoleonic Wars. Yeah, it would. And you probably could, but collecting one of each would be, as someone pointed out, pretty expensive. And pretty difficult to acquire. Would take a while. So let's go through this. So I actually had another one, but it was kind of shoddy made, Russian made. Interestingly here about the buttons is that you see that they don't actually, these loops don't actually reach the buttons, and these are actually false. So they're not actually open, and they're not supposed to cut, because that was the fashion at the time, to have false pockets like that, which is a bit strange maybe. Size large, made by, you see the brand there, Taylor and Arms. I've talked about them. Random question, why did you decide to get a Confederate uniform rather than a Union one? I think the Confederates, they're a little bit, you know, they're a little bit more flashy than the Union. But that's what I've kind of got. A little bit more, you know, with the gold and so forth. Yeah, he makes custom uniforms. Let's see. At what age were you able to properly grow a mustache, and what do you do to make it look so great? I don't really do anything specific more than maybe, you know, trim a bit here and there. And I probably started this mustache at this point, must have at least been 10 years ago. And hello there to you, Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln just comes up when I start talking about why I prefer Confederate uniform. But I you know, the sort of, I find it kind of more, you know, the dashing kind of style, the more, what's it called, the cavalier attitude, maybe, of the Confederates. But, yeah. But the Union ones are cool too, but I think the Confederates probably nicer. Right. So this is the coat. Fits really well, almost a little bit too well. Pictures. Oh yes, you're noticing the bookshelf over in the corner, where I have a few of these, which is probably what you're seeing. Ospreys. British Army on campaign, 1882 to 1902. Big player during the Napoleonic War, but maybe grey trousers and blue uniform. Yeah, the thing is, the Swedish uniforms, some of them I think look rather weird. Some of them look good, but it's just, they made them terrible in Vanilla Napoleon, didn't they? Or is it Empire? Yeah, it's Empire as well. Union Jack says, hey, big fan, quick question. Franco-Prussian War, get a uniform for Prussia. I don't actually know, because if I did, I'd probably own one. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure where to get one, unfortunately. But if I ever find, you'll be the one to know. The I think you went haywire when you saw the Swedes in Imperial Destroyer. The thing that I didn't really like, it's the leg part thing looks kind of weird on there. Should pull up a picture. But some of them look good, I think. Speak German. Not more than like war phrases, like, you know. Suddenly I can't think of anything, but like. Yeah, I mean, yeah, as I said, I don't actually speak it, but, you know, the war phrases like, what is it? Fire frei, or something like that. To fire at will, and what is it they say in Empire? Now I don't really want to say it because I think yeah. Shame Video Game Shop is having a Halloween party and was gonna go dressed as Otto von Bismarck. That would probably be quite a custom. I like though that kind of the kind of coat that he has, or jacket, but no, it's more of a coat. Most uniform has grey trousers and blue uniform with yellow details. Some regiments have sort of top hat, others had sarcos that look like the Russian ones, but with Swedish details. Yes, I've seen some of those. There were pretty nice detailed uniforms in Napoleon Total War 3. I made a battle there, trying to recreate kind of a recreate a battle. So yeah, they had pretty nice details and some really cool uniforms. What type of unit you doing with the blue and yellow? The Swedish one, that's just kind of standard infantry. As far as I know, it's kind of all, they kind of all had the same, most of the infantry, in terms of like the cut and so forth. So it would also work, I think, but not quote me on this, that it would also work on, say, if I would get a grenadier hat, I could be grenadier as well. It fits really well. It's very tight to my body. But with that, then we have the coat anyways. What I want to show you is the thing I made myself, which is this. The vest that you're supposed to wear underneath, which I actually made myself, believe it or not. And I even lined it. And I fastened the buttons. And that's why you see the buttonholes are kind of terrible, because I made them. The problem with it is that it's a bit too short. It's supposed to, I don't think you can see, even if I stand at the back, they're supposed to be further back, lower, so you will be able to see them when wearing the coat, and having it open when you put the tails together, or you kind of know what I mean. So it's supposed to be longer, and also when I wear it like this, it sort of gives. It's supposed to be snug at the back, but it kind of sticks out like that, preparing for someone to pour ice down or something. So but I'm really pleased with the fact that I was able to achieve this on my own. Pretty darn nice. Yeah. I have a lot. So far, I've only really shown the uniforms and stuff. I have like you know, shoes and boots and belts and buckles and stuff. But I'm not entirely sure how interested you were to be seeing those. Recap from last time, since we were talking about the Carolean, is that I've got a reproduction sword for the uniform as well. Moving on, because the talk, yes, I don't know where I put it. The guy who makes that Carolean uniform, actually I got in a part of it, a flyer for an invitation to like their regiment, which they had an event pretty darn recently commemorating the Russians come and attack in the eastern shores of Sweden, setting fire to villages and stuff, burning and looting. But yeah, I haven't really thought a lot about it. It's all about location, sort of. The, you know, traveling far away, traveling around to actually meet these. But I think there are some groups close by, but I haven't invested too much thought into it. But that's well, why did you decide to get a ranker's uniform instead of an officer? It's because it's more expensive, and there's a few other things like, you know, details for officers and stuff. And I would have to get a wig. I would have to get one of those big wigs that sort of goes down a bit on two shoulders, because that's what the officers had. You know, they sort of, I think, more commonly seen. Because the Swedish uniform is of early 1700s, so they still have some of those 1600s stuff. So the big, you know, wig that would go down and a few other things. So it would be more expensive and stuff. And the thing is, like, if you would ever join an event or take part in something, if you turn up as an officer, or it's like if you go to a World War II reenactment and everyone's like the most famous commando unit or something like that, or stuff like that. Yes, have you ever heard of Pinterest Tailoring? He's a tailor in Brighton, and he makes mainly clothes from Regency period. Does it at all? Oh, now the comment. Yes, I follow Pinterest Tailoring on Instagram, and he's rather, he's really good at what he does, and he does sort of the, as you said, the Regency period, which for those who don't know is roughly around the Napoleonic age, and the type of clothes he makes is sort of really towards the well, common officers, yeah. I mean, depends on what rank, of course. But they still wore wigs if they could. Generally, though, the Caroleans were quite Spartan in how they wore the uniforms and stuff. But I think generally, if you had a bit of money, you probably would be wearing a wig, because it was fashion, just like the pockets, which you cannot close. Back to Regency, the sort of Jane Austen type clothes, which I really like. I really like, when you got the when you flip up the collar, when you have that, and then the what's it called? I can't think of anything. cravat. Yes, there we go. Oh yeah, I have been looking at wigs, actually, and I saw one pretty cool. It was it's a Prussian style with a single one of those curl on either side, and then the hair. No, I don't think it actually had curls. I think it was, but it was pulled back like that, and then it had like one of those long hair whips that would go, same as they have in Imperial Destroyer when it goes down far down the back, which I think would be rather cool if you had like, you know, a sort of Prussian uniform of that time period. Intense moustache rubbing, yeah, I haven't, just like last time, I don't think I put wax in it then either. But the thing is, it's kind of hard to I kind of find wigs. I found some on Etsy, but I mean, if you type into Google wigs, you get all kinds of shit. Soldaten Schwab. I don't know how to. Soldaten is the. I really want to one day have a full uniform of the Totenkampf Hussars, which is really cool. Hello there. Yeah, literally soldiers take. I'm reading the comments. Hopefully, people watching can actually, you know, will take the time to read the comments. Otherwise, this is kind of it kind of probably feels rather rambly. But then again, why would you watch or obviously if you cannot be here, then yeah. But the best thing, of course, is to watch a live stream live. And with that, I think we move on to the Confederate uniform, which, I mean, a lot of people have been saying that this sort of the facing color is black, which would make me what's it called, medical staff, but it's actually really dark blue. I don't know if you may be able to tell if you look where the light hits it, that it's really dark blue. Probably should have gotten. I can't exactly recall why. Yeah, this is an officer uniform, because I got it kind of at the same time we were thinking of doing War of Rights stuff, but I feel that I didn't really have time to commit to something like that at the moment. So that's why. And that's why also it's captain's rank. I don't think I've actually had any pictures taken where I wear the sash. I should have had this when I did should have had it like this for when I did, what's it called? When I tried to look like the guy from Zulu. Sergeant. It's not really the same kind that he has. And you're not supposed to. He wears it like this. You're not supposed to wear it like this. Yes, I have. I haven't been. The thing is, we went to a few events, but they were so, because you couldn't like, you know, yeah, the color sergeant, precisely. You can't really see, and now I did a poor job in wrapping it around me. Oh, it kind of, I saw it lag there. Is it overheating again? Let me feel. It's kind of hot. If it's only going on for 30 minutes, last time it managed to go on for, I can't remember how long it went on for. You know what? If I, maybe, right, I can get close-ups of stuff doing it like this, or maybe you guys get, well, when people say that, like, have you ever thought about doing a collab with, oh, hello there, Attila, doing a, yeah, the selfie stream, doing a collab with, you know, so and so, it's not like I know Apollo or anything. So, I mean, could possibly, but who knows? Oh yeah, I actually remember now. Someone specifically asked a while ago, like years ago, probably a year ago at least, to see the miniatures, which are in here. I'll turn the lights on. I actually wired the lights myself. Let's see. Bit wonky. And we'll open up. And we'll take a look. So I have. We'll take a look at the Napoleonic stuff first, shall we? So we got my French regiment. That over there is supposed to be one of Napoleon's brothers, Jérôme Bonaparte. Let's see, does this look good? Or is it, I don't know, the focus. It's kind of hard to tell. So it's 2 French regiments. And then we have 2 French 6-pounder guns. Behind that, we got General Staff with Napoleon. We've got Marshal Ney. And back there, we've got some people just resting, chilling after, I don't know, hauling cannons or something. And then beyond that, we've got the British. They've got 2 9-pounders instead. Got some 95th rifles leading the way. The British have 2 regiments, one of which I never finished, which is this one. I can't remember. I can't remember exactly what regiments I did. This is the 42nd, the Highlanders. I know that. Let's see. It's kind of hard to tell, and it's really dark. Yeah, it's probably not that good to bring them out into. Probably better to bring the camera closer. We can see them. And right now, of course, I can't read your comments, unfortunately. But there we have the Napoleonic. Then we go below. Going back to me real quickly. Also want to check if there's comments, which currently there aren't. Maybe because you know that I can't read them. I'm trying to look at the TV at the same time. I shouldn't wave it about like this. I'm trying to watch it at the same time. And here we've got the Zulu Wars instead. So it's the Rorke's Drift set. So we got firing line. We got small cannon. We got tons of Zulus. And then we got kind of famous characters. It's partly from painting and partly from the movie. So we got like Born from the movie. We've got, I can't remember, but it's Michael Caine's character. I don't know why I made him blonde. And then the guy in charge, I can't remember what he's called either. And then we have people from the painting. And the people from, and here's Born, I think, the actual, this is supposed to be the actual one, and this is the guy from the movie. And below that, you got tons of Warhammer Empire, and then a bunch of misfit characters, some hobbits, pirates, knights, role-play characters. We've got some sort of Call of Cthulhu type murder mystery characters. We've got Lucius Vorenus and Titus Pullo as miniatures. I don't know how well you can see these. It's kind of dark. It's not the best. Some hoplite warriors. Not really good lighting, is it? And then the bad guys are below. Skeletons, chaos warriors, dark elves. And there's that. Not a great. I'm looking back at kind of shaky because I handheld it, and also the lighting didn't seem very good, or at least I'm trying to look at it at the same time in the TV. And then above that, I have a few things. I actually feel it kind of overheating. So if you're a Game of Thrones fan, you know what this is. If you're a Prussian fan, you know what that is. If you want to protect the tip of your ding dong, you know what that is. And we go bayonet. This is kind of interesting. I don't know what this kind of is. It's some sort of propaganda leaflet depicting the what's it called, the Satsuma uprising, or when what's it called? Who's the guy? The guy in what's it called? The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise. It's basically that thing. What is he called? Saigo Takamori. It's basically depicting that. If you go through it, you kind of get the Imperials going against the traditionals. Pretty cool. Yeah. I think we'll end it. Oh, this is actually a medal that a family member got from the Royal Patriotic Society. And this one's, I don't know when it was, but it was my grandmother's mother, I believe. They got this for her service in textile industry during roughly the time of the First World War. And I guess I'll see if now I should be able to see. Have you seen The Last Samurai? You are spelling the right one. I see. Yes, I have seen The Last Samurai, if that was directed towards me. Kind of why I got that pamphlet as well. And yeah, we're going to 40 minutes. At this point, roughly is kind of, I'm feeling it slightly overheating, but not that bad. So I guess it wasn't really so much that Napoleon's Old Guard, you mean for the miniatures? That's also kind of like, going to reenactment or something and bringing everyone's dressed as Napoleon or something. So having, the best of the best is like, it's a bit of an overkill or something. Or like, it's a bit, I don't know what to call it really. But you understand the idea though. I don't know, turning up as, if it's you're supposed to dress up, but everyone dresses up as Napoleon or something. Suppose like, oh yeah, well let's start some reenactment here, and everyone turns up dressed as Wellington or Napoleon. Someone talked or wondered about the painting, which isn't really a painting. It's a poster which I've had framed at by a glass master. So I said it like Game of Thrones, a glass master. That's at least what it's called in Sweden. So I had a poster framed, so it's not actually like an oil painting or anything like that. And similarly for this one here, which is a French world map from, I think, the 1750s. Everything written on the map is in French anyways. Kind of interesting how they've hadn't properly discovered the sort of the outlines of Australia, which is in this called Nouvelle Holland, so New Holland. Which is interesting. They just guessed that it kind of goes through with New Guinea and a few other places on the map that they haven't yet to discover. But yeah, I think we'll end it roughly here. So if thought there was a huge bar for a second. Oh, yeah, because the two circles, yeah. Yeah, there we go. Unless there's any questions or anything, maybe it didn't turn up last time. So I'll just quickly maybe go over some of the stuff. Now it's all in a pile. It's been lying here for a week since last time, so I hadn't actually cleared it all up. Well, yeah, maybe part 2. This is part 2. Possibly doing another one like this. But then, like, maybe specifically doing it just for one uniform or something like that. Like I would prepare, and I would have the entire kit sort of, maybe slowly putting it all on for the ones that are more complete, like my German World War One, or the Build a Butcher one. Well, I mean, he missed it, but he can watch it back, and then there's the first one. Let's see if I actually forgot. Let's see if the oh yeah, the Landsknecht one. No, the guns aren't real. The musket is real. And I have a percussion cap pistol, which is real. Let's see if the, what's it called? The connection is good out here in the hallway. So here is actually where I keep them. I don't think Bill the Butcher likes me, but I like him. So here's where I actually keep all the stuff in here. Which is, I mean, the thing, I brought, it's airsoft pistol up there. And then we'll go a pike, which actually is crooked. So that's why I'm not showing it. Caroline socks. I'm not entirely sure what you would call this, but yeah, it's just a spear. Unfortunately, it kind of warped. The idea was it's to be easily carried around, so you can screw it in half, like for travel. But I think that has actually caused it to warp, so it's kind of warped and messy. And then we got boots and stuff down there. And then we have, well, we've got 2 shirts, 3 shirts in fact. No, wait, it's actually 4 shirts. The German World War I one. Yeah, it kind of looks like a pontoon, but not really. Spontoon, I mean, but not really. German World War I. The 2 different versions of the Bill the Butcher one. And then the actual first, like, sort of Renaissance shirt I got. And behind that, oh, this one I didn't show. Also made by me. You can't really see here, but you can see it on Instagram better. It's my Japanese one, and then behind the Japanese one we've got the Landsknecht. Got cartridge bag for the Caroline up there. Let's see, up there. Oh, probably something fall down. In this bag I've got Bill the Butcher's hat. I've got this, which isn't particularly good. It's supposed to go with the what's it called? Now I can't think of anything. The Ulan uniform. But it doesn't actually have these markings on the hat. Aren't actually officer ones. They're just regular infantry. I've seen them as boar spears. Yes, yeah. I was thinking that when people talking about what kind of spear it is. Have you ever thought about trying to pronounce that better? Itty bitty. Yeah, boar spear, because it's supposed to stop it from sliding into the boar. Sliding the entire spear into the boar. Or whatever you're supposed to spear with it. It's got a blunt. No, you weren't helpful at all. You were being picky, where it really wasn't. So you don't, like, you can use it for reenactment and stuff, or you can try, like, poking at people without hurting them. And if you would hurt them, slide through them, then you got these to not go through. Although this is rather, you would have to be a rather fat man to have me go all this way. Some Swedish words. Yeah, most of the things I have are not sharp, because you generally don't want to hurt people, right? It's not meant to hurt people. I'm gonna, a rather fat man to be stabbing. Also a bit of art in the hallway. Um, by Lady Butler of the Battle of Waterloo. You got a charge of the Scottish cavalry, and then over here we've got a square. The interesting thing here is I actually found out, because the flag that we saw before was the 54th, which was the regiment that we did in Mountain Blade Napoleonic Wars. At the charge of the Scots Greys, now I actually remember the name, and I believe that is the correct pronunciation. Just, do we have any Scottish people here? The Scots Greys, as in Scottish and grey. So because they're trying to go for the white horses. They actually, in their charge, actually rode down the 54th Regiment, which at that point has moved to moved into I think they were called demi brigades or something like that at that point. So they actually rode down the 54th, just swept them all down, kinda. And I think that's about it. We'll continue around. We'll go around. One thing. Oh yes, something here in the window I have. This. Look at that. It's a Napoleonic eagle, supposed to be on top of the flag. Oh yeah, the eagle, yes. I remember everyone commenting about how I mispronounced l'agile. Like I give a toss what the French people think. Pretty nice. It's not actual like gold or brass. It's some kind of, I don't know. Yeah, it kind of looks like a Roman eagle as well. And I think that's what Napoleon kind of went for, by having the eagle and symbols like that. And you know, probably why the Americans have gone for the eagle as well, to go back to that. And then more Napoleonic stuff here. And then I think this is supposed to be Sun Tzu or some Chinese warlord. I can't remember. Right, and I think that's it. Oh yeah, I actually was. I was in, what's it called? The Tower of London. And I went to the museum and I saw a real one that they had captured. And it actually looks, it kinda looks like the one that's here, but at the same time not really. So I guess, well, the thing is, what I think I read was that they lost a lot of eagles, but they never actually admitted to losing any, and they just made new ones. So it could be that there were different styles made, but if you look at this one and look at the one that they have in Tower of London, they're not really, they don't really look like this, which I think this one looks a little bit better. So yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and end here, because I'm seeing we're closing in on the 50-minute mark, and last time when we got to around 50, we crashed because my phone overheated. Anyways, I hope this was a good live stream. Hopefully I can keep doing live streams, not necessarily of the uniforms, but actually do gaming live streams at this time, so we could kind of keep keep this this is a regular thing. Playing WoW while watching World of Warcraft. Oh, is it the... Yeah, McCabe has been talking something about that. Anyways, dragging on. I tried to end it like 10 minutes ago and then got carried away showing the miniatures and the eagles and stuff. But yeah. I want to say... Oh, World of Warship. Why was I talking about World of... you better stay clear of the islands then, so you don't go... Uh-oh, bad Wi-Fi. Right. It's time to end it, and I'll say this. I'll thank everyone for joining in on the stream, and hopefully you liked it, and hopefully I'll see you guys. You know, I'm never actually mad at anyone. I just mess around. So don't take anything too seriously, because I don't. And yes, I'll say auf Wiedersehen and goodbye. Hopefully you guys enjoy this, and I'll catch you guys for the next one. Bye. Sayonara. Good day, my lord.